All right, Kenman here, and oh, what's this? Look where we are. Oh, wait, you can't tell? Oh, shoot, yeah, sorry, never mind. You're just sitting here at the table with me. We've got the Sencut Brazoria here, nothing to see, nothing crazy. But yeah, let's go ahead and take one last look at this Sencut here. What do we think about it? As it is? Are we happy with it? Does it need some changes? Because some magic is about to happen. Confused? Well, stay tuned and find out. Before we start, not sponsored by anyone. I purchase everything at retail price. And I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. All right, got my little facade, little setup here for the tear down, but you're gonna soon see what lies beneath. Let's dye this bad boy, huh? All right, first step to the dye is take a good last look. This is how she looks. And the action. Oof. Miss. What is wrong with me? Oh, that's right, you're filming. Kenman. Whenever I film, I tell you, my opening skills diminish significantly. All right, looks like I already got some dye on my thumb. That's perfect. Okay, so we've got the black liner in there, and we have the jade handle, and then the blade, the kind of the silver brushed soft kind of look. What color do you think we're going to do today, everybody? Well, I say let's not waste any more time. Let's tear this thing down. Get into it. Okay, so there is no captive pivot, but that looks like I'm able to loosen it on both sides without having to get a secondary driver, which is good. I am gonna, now that I have the pivot loose, I am switching and I'm gonna remove T6s on this pocket clip really fast, if I can get in there. All right. Yeah, the pocket clip has 2 screws, both T6, and it looks like I will be able to put that on the other side. And if you notice, there is a hole on this side where that pocket screw or pocket clip goes. It holds the internal little spacer on that side, but it is a T8, and I will be able to swap it to the other side and then put the pocket clip on this side. But my question is if this is a T8, if it's in here and in here, that means the other screw on the pocket clip that's a T6 also fits in there, but it's a T6. Why not just make them all T8s? The body screws are T8s. That one screw is a T8. I mean, you could just skip those last two, just make them all T8s. T8s are a stronger, I guess the head part is got a little bit better bite against the teeth of the bit. And so if you've done any taking apart of 6s and 8s, you'll know that 6s, it seems like if you're not paying attention and you're not pushing hard, it's a lot easier to strip that screw or destroy your bit at the same time, just by not pushing in hard enough and getting one poor turn. Okay, so we are loose. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to try to keep the frame squeezed together. I'm going to remove the other side. So this one goes, the longer one goes in the side with the label. Longer label, Sencut. All right, I'm going to try to pick this up and I'm going to drop it right back in there and that should help keep everything together while it's on the table sitting here, just to make it a little bit easier to put back together later, just to make the video quicker. I'm already at 5 minutes and we have barely gotten it apart. Okay, so we are good. I am now going to take the scales and I'm going to set them off camera for a second so that I can move this out of our way and take a look at that. I'm going to set this careful so the screws don't go flying on me. And here we have our scale die project. Got our new scales that we're going to be dipping. I have some stuff for us to look at, but we're going to go ahead and skip that for now. And I'm going to shimmy over here so that we can get these in the dip. All right, if you have not watched the videos from the past, I have a playlist. You can go check that out. You can watch all the ones that we've done before. This is going to be our 7th die, I believe. Right now I'm just kind of wiping it off, seeing if there's any dirt or anything on there. I know there's a little bit of stuff in that pivot, but that's not going to matter because it's going to be covered and you won't see it anyway. But if there was any debris or something on there, that's a spot where the die wouldn't sit the same, and so then it could be altered and then not be even. And if I want to try to make these as even as possible, we want to keep that surface uniform. All right, let's take a look at this quick. Now you see these 3 little lines, tick, tick, tick. I am guessing that after we do this die, those are going to pop a little bit more. I've noticed a lot of them, we'll look at that in a minute, that once they've been dyed, any little details that are on the scale tend to stick out a little bit more. So that's something that we can watch for. We are doing orange today. How about that? That's the first time I've tried the orange. This one with the liner being black, I thought the orange and the black might pop well against each other, kind of a Halloween color theme look. And that with the brushed silver blade I think should look nice. So what I've got here are some hooks. Like I said, if you haven't tuned in before, I just made these out of some metal wire, and they're just going to make it easy for me to dip it in the dip and then be able to remove it without having any issues. It looks like we're really hot here. I'm going to give it a good little stir just in case there's any particles. Dye is a powder that you dissolve in water, and so if you save it, you can reuse it. But what happens is as it sits, it settles, and you got to kind of remix it up. And so whenever I do another dip, I will make sure that I mix it thoroughly in the bucket or the jug, and then have it stirred up and nice and even so that I get a good coat. All right, you guys ready? Let's do this. We are at 8:07, so I'm going to time it. So about 8:15 or whatever is about when they're going to get in. We do not want bubbles on these, so we want to put them in and kind of splash them around a few times so that we know that there is a good uniform coating and there's no bubbles. Air bubbles on the part will basically leave a section that the dye is not getting to, and if the dye is not getting to that section, then it is not going to dye the same, obviously, as the rest. All right, see where we're at? We are in. We got those in about 8:15. We're going to go ahead and move over here a little bit. We'll let that kind of sit on the side, and we can kind of take a look at some stuff. Here's what we've dyed so far. Boom. This is the Zhang Sheng foldable chef's knife. I did that in an orchid. I have a darker purple. The orchid is definitely a lighter purple. I wasn't paying attention when I grabbed my purple, and so it ended up being a little bit lighter than I was originally expecting, but it's great. Here's the Civivi Fair and Forge Combo Odium that we did in the blue. If you see the little lines on there, they kind of pop a little bit more now that it's been dyed. I'll show that more in detail than another one. This is the Fair and Forge Gent 2.0. We did this with yellow, but I left it in too long. Plus with the black underneath, the black will kind of show through the scale and it's going to give it a slightly darker color. And that yellow, we have learned that leaving it in a really long time doesn't make it darker yellow. It ends up kind of changing it kind of green in this case. All right, we've got the Kubi Titus with the red. Awesome knife. I love this knife. It's a beef. Feels really good in the hand. It's just solid. And the dark red turned out really good. I've said before, my lighting in the kitchen is a little bit weird, so it kind of makes everything a little bit more yellow. This is the feldspar. See how this looks kind of like it has a wood grain to it? That you could not see when it was just the jade. And so that's kind of a neat little addition that's happened after doing the dye. We have the Civivi Vision FG with the Damascus. How awesome did that turn out? I am so happy with this. This knife is great. This super lock is an ambidextrous lock. I'm a lefty, so anything that works good with the left hand is awesome. I had a little trouble with the this right here. I would have fails, but now that I've done it and I took it apart, and even though it's nice and solid, but it's definitely, it's a great knife. It's working really good. Okay, we've taken enough time. I want to take a quick look. We do not know. It's already been 2 minutes with this orange. Let's take a look at where we're at. All right. So we are definitely getting orange. It's light. It's like tang, kind of. You see that? So the orange kind of is a little slower. There, we pull them out completely. You'll see it starts to drip off. And so it will look darker when it's got the dye on it. Like right now, it's got kind of a coating, and so that coating will kind of slowly rinse off. And when we're gonna be done, we'll give it a good rinse, and you'll be able to tell for sure what the color is. So we're definitely kind of a jade orange right now. So the orange is slower to react. Get in there. Than the red was. The red was literally, this was 1 minute. 1 minute, and it was that dark. And we're already pushing close to 3 minutes on this orange. Each dye is different. It has its own kind of properties. Do you want to keep watching that? It's right there. You guys trust me? I don't have movie magic going on over there right now. There's nothing changing, I promise. So this is the Civivi the Civivi, what is this? The Mini Asticus with Damascus. Very cool knife. What color would you like to see it? Here is the CJRB Gobi. It's got these great accents. I'm thinking the dark purple. We have this photo of this Lamborghini that one of my subscribers recommended. We try to make it match, and we might do that. That's kind of where I'm at with this one right now, but we'll see. But with those accents, it's going to make that color. It's going to be neat pop. We have the Sencut Crowley with the button lock. I really like this knife. Been happy with it. I really like button locks. If you haven't seen, shoot. Did I not put this one in my button lock video? Holy crap. I'll be dipped. Yeah, I did this button lock video talking about how cool they are and how they're great for lefties, and I feel like I left this one out of it because it was sitting in the pile for this. Yeah, I had good representation. It's fine. This is Kubi. I've been getting some Kubis. I'm really happy with that brand right now. This is the Kubi Royal. It's got this nice front flipper. It's got some cool action. It's got a neat look. There are these little grooves that you can't see that I'm sure are going to stick out a little bit more. Like I said, when we do the dye, it's got a nice finger flick action. I like the way this knife looks. It's just... It's weird how just anything is, every one of them's got a different shape, and sometimes one shape kind of hits a spot in your brain, you know, and another one doesn't. It's just weird how that works. So this is another Kubi, shoot, I can't remember the name of this one. Thalia, I believe. Kubi Thalia. This one's a nice beefy knife. I like the size of it. I like the way it feels in my hand. Maybe not a huge fan of the design as far as it's just a very big plain flat area, like if that was contoured or something, or if they did a little bit something different. But the reality is as a utilitarian kind of a style and just holding it, it feels awesome. It feels good. It feels like it's going to be where you want it to be. It's going to hold. And so in that case, it's fantastic. This is the newest one I just got. This is the Citivian. It's got some weird number name 801 ST 801, or I don't know. I bought this because this was under 20 bucks and I just wanted to try something that was on that super budget and see what it was. And what's crazy is it's solid. It doesn't move. There's no play. The blade is basically centered nicely. The action is smooth. It drops like it's $18. Kidding me? I mean, I'm not saying that this is stuff that I'm just going to carry around. I still feel like there's a certain thing to be said for the actual blade steel, which isn't as higher a quality. But if you're just someone who's just carrying a knife around just to cut boxes and just do simple things, this is way cooler than like a box cutter or a Milwaukee Fastback or something. Oh, someone's going to leave a message in the comments about that. If they were watching. Yeah, anyway. These are all the jade ones that I'm going to do soon. So if you have any thoughts on the colors of any of those or any comments on the ones that we've done, anything you want to see us do, try, different, blah, blah, blah. All right, now that I've had my assistant swap these out for something else since no one was looking, let's take another look. I'm just kidding. I'm alone here. Just doing our thing. We're just having some fun. Oh, okay. All right. This is where I'm going to do a rinse. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to bring out this water. We're going to rinse them off. I'm going to totally get these out of our world so we don't accidentally... Saw the red stain on there. I already spilled on it last time. So I'm going to get this water bucket bath out. And what happens is when we dip it in here, it's going to neutralize the dye that's on there, and it's going to immediately stop it from dyeing. If we just take it out and let them drip, what will happen is those drips will leave dye, and then it could continue to dye and leave it less uniform. So what we're going to do is we're going to yank these out. I'm going to try to keep my wrists out of the way. Ooh, okay. And we're going right in, and we're going to rinse. And you can see how much lighter they already got. So let's just take these hooks off for now. I may stick them back in, which is the nice thing is you can always just go right back in the dip if you'd like. Get this excess dye off of these so that it doesn't end up thicker chunks. Wow, they have it's interesting. It has like what is that material called? Not gonna come to me. It's that new material they're making a lot of stuff out of. It has this kind of light orangey kind of see-through look to it. Yeah, without having the name of it, it's not a big deal. But it's just a new material that they're making handles and doing stuff out of, and it's kind of reminding me of that a little bit. Now it looks almost a little peach. But my lighting in the kitchen does tend to make everything a little bit more yellow than what it actually is. That is orange. I kind of think I'd like it to be a little bit darker. Put it on the black. You can kind of see where we're at. You know what? Let's do it. Every other time we've taken it out, I am turning the heat up on that a little bit. And we're going to put them back in for a couple more minutes and talk about some stuff. What are we at? 18 minutes. Holy cow. Might as well make the video longer. All right. Okay, so let's get these hooks back. Let's get this back over here so you can see what I'm doing. Back in the dip. Same thing as before. I know they were already wet, but good habits to practice, making sure that they don't have any bubbles. It's the time that you decide not to do it. I got that one bent kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, it's the time you decide not to check is the time that it'll have this big bubble, and you'll take it out, and then you realize, ugh, what have I done? and you'll have this one spot right where the bubble is, and everything will be the color you want except for where that spot is will be lighter, and you're like, why didn't I just make sure, you know? It's patience and allowing the process to do what it needs to do. If it needs to take longer, well, we're starting to boil here. That's too hot. I have seen some videos of people doing dyes where they had just got that dye just rip boiling. Kind of makes me wary that it's just sitting in there right above, right on a chunk of metal that's that hot. So I tend to try to keep mine less than boiling. And the reality is I've done dyes for other things, and you don't need it. I used to heat it in the microwave and just get it hot, and that heat alone will cause it to react and do its thing. It doesn't need to be boiling. I've done dyes where it's literally room temperature dye that you do with shaving cream. You mix it with shaving cream to make the dye thicker, and then what happens is then it can sit on the space that you're dyeing longer, and then you can leave it for up to 24 hours or more and allow it to slowly soak in. So the dye will work regardless of temperature. Just the hotter it is, the faster it will go. Who has a CJRB Feldspar? I love this knife. Every day a little bit more. It's great. It's just clean. It's centered. It's solid. It's a good design. The way this handle feels, it's just simple, yet it feels fantastic. I like that little gold accent. I think the color turned out good. I think they have this color almost exactly the same available if you want to just buy it as is. But man, it's got a nice flip, snappy action. My hands are all kind of wet. I can't do the finger flick right now. What is my problem? Yeah, loving Feldspar. If you're interested in a budget knife, that one is not very expensive, and it is fantastic. And if you want an inexpensive chef's knife, I mean, who doesn't think that is fun? And solid. That is, I mean, you get this at Blade HQ if you want. I'm not sponsored by them, but yeah, I'll throw you their way. I mean, they make some good stuff. Loving my Civivi Vision FG, especially now that I've taken it apart and modified it. I wasn't a fan of the white in the first place, but I really like the Damascus, and so I was like, maybe I'll do that, maybe I'll dye it, maybe I won't. But here we are today. I got this red one with the Damascus. It looks fantastic. It works even better than when I got it. Oops. Happiness. Happiness. All right, this video is going to be super long. I apologize. Although if you've been watching other videos, one of them, the one where I lost with that Vision, I thought I lost part of it. And I didn't. I'm sitting there staring at it, watching the video, and I can see it sitting right on the table. And I didn't have to waste the time looking for it, but I did. And yeah, made the video a little longer than it needed to be, but that's fine. It's kind of the way of the process. All right, this did get a little bit darker. Maybe still not as dark, but we're putting it on that black. And so once we get it on those top of that black scale, or the black liner, apologize, it should definitely be darker than what it is now. But this darkened it up. This gave it a lot more of that ambery glowish kind of color. Still even a little bit more like that stuff I was talking about. Leave a comment if you know the material that I was telling you about that this kind of reminds me of. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna grab this white thing, and we're gonna go ahead and put this bath over there. All right, now what we need to do is we need to dry these off really good, because if they're not dry, you don't want any of that moisture getting into the liner and causing any type of a corrosion or whatever it may do. having that moisture in there up against the metal. And maybe it wouldn't do anything, but I am a cautious person and like to do it the right way the first time. And I would definitely say if you're doing something and it's wet, that make sure it's completely dry before you assemble it is probably not a bad practice to do at all. So, what does everyone think? It's kind of tough to tell. I'm going to rub these really good with the towel though to try to just make sure it's as absolutely dry as possible. Now those lines stick out more, don't they? Dude, I can see the texture all the way across the whole thing. My eyes are terrible, but I can still focus on that. So, this is looking like a success. That last little extra 2 minutes, I don't know if you can totally tell on camera here, but it was worth it. I turned it up and it was near boiling. That definitely made it go a little bit quicker. But those extra couple of minutes in there, we can go back and check the timestamps or whatever and figure it out, and I'll know how many minutes approximately this was, because we can do the subtraction of taking it out and giving it the quick rinse and figure out exactly how long it took to get him here. But I am pretty excited. Pretty excited. Okay, let's shimmy all the way over here. And what is everyone thinking about these die project knives? I don't get a lot of comments. It'd be cool if I get some more. I'd love to get some feedback from everyone. Kind of let me know what you like, what you don't like. If you would like me to maybe do one of these edited so that it's not so long. I think I'm kind of long-winded sometimes, where I start talking about stuff and I just keep going on, and maybe we could move on. Or maybe you want some type of a different format. I kind of like this because it's live and you get to see the whole thing, and there's no, you don't miss any part of it. You know, you get to see the whole thing real as it happened, and except for all the little movie tricks I do. Huh. Yeah, real high tech, I know. Okay, these are about dry. Let's not waste any more time. Okay, I am reaching over here, coming in, grab these, put them up there, and we are back to the table. Ooh. All right, let's see if we can do this. Looks dry. Try to get underneath this, pick it up as a unit. Okay, take the pivot back out, gently get the scale back on there, and then see if I can get that pivot back in without having to adjust. Sometimes things start moving around. Ooh, we got lucky. All right, I am a lefty, so the clip is going to go on this side. So I'm going to switch to this side for a second. We're going to get this other scale on over here and just get things started to sticking together. I'm not going to go all the way tight with the pivot. I'm just going to put it there so that it is on this side is the non-clip side. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in loose just to get everything holding itself together, but not tight. All I did was just get them on there so that stuff is in position. Now we have this. Shoot. Oh, did I do that wrong? I did that wrong. I don't know if these are the same size, but I'm going to take this one out and check, because that one is actually the frame. Looks like they're the same though. Just in case. I guess they're both considered scale frame connecting screws. So pocket clip's going to go on that side. So yeah, but you never know. I've had some where there's a couple screws are one size and a couple are another. So I try to make sure to put everything back in the spot that it started. Looks like I might be getting, no, it's gone. Okay, we are close. This is dark. My black background will probably look better. Okay. We are almost there. Oh my goodness, 30 minutes. Whoever is still here, I appreciate you. You are diehard, fantastic. Thank you. I appreciate all my viewers. Wouldn't be able to be here without, well, I mean, I am here. I guess I could keep making it with no viewers. But I do appreciate you. I'd love to get any feedback. Like I said, I'm definitely all about trying to do what I can to make the videos entertaining. And we are there. Okay. When you put knives back together, you have to pay attention to the blade centering, because if you screw it together wrong, you can have the blade be off center, but it's something that's fixable. So if you do it right as you do it, like I did, and check both sides as you go, you can keep it right in the center. All right, we are there. What's everyone think? It's orange. Pow. Solid. Can flick it out so it's not too tight. See if I can flick it out with my left hand. I was screwing that up a bunch before. There we go. What's everyone think? I'm going to bring this towel in. My new human grade towels. Kind of get a better look. What's everyone think? So you can compare that to the video, or you compare this to the video at the beginning. Obviously the clip's on the other side, but I'm a lefty, so if you're tuning in, that is what you get. This is my show side now. But there we are. We've done it. We've got another die complete. I think it looks good. It's going to be a nice addition. That orange with the black liner underneath it looks cool. Let's grab the other ones real quick. Get them all out. That orange is going to add a nice accent of color to our stack. We've been doing several that are kind of similar. Let's move it. There. All right. We're going to get a 35-minute video out of this one, kids. Again, whoever's still here, hit that like button. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. Had a great time doing these dies. We're getting places, right? We got 7 of them now. We got this cool orange. I like orange. I like yellow. Shoot. So I'm into that. I have a Benchmade tagged out with an orange. It's kind of a slightly brighter orange than this. But I do like orange handles. I think they're kind of cool. It's kind of got a neat outdoorsy kind of a feel. What's everyone think of how that turned out with that black liner, that orange, and that brushed blade with this Sencut? I dig it. Having a good time. We're going to keep dyeing some more. I've got several more. I might have more coming in the mail. So we're not done by a long shot. But more to come in the future, so stay tuned. If you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Stay sharp, and we'll see you next time.